Hello, what is up? My name is Seema. How are you doing? I recently, in the past few months, have come to some lessons and conclusions, and I wanted to share these lessons and conclusions with you. So I will be doing that in this video. So basically, some of the things that I have personally learned in my journey as being a human being in this physical body, unfortunately, no, I'm just kidding, very fortunately, has been as follows. Number one, never let anybody try to make you fit in. Or never let anyone convince you it's a good idea to fit in. No, it's not. That's so boring and disgusting and weird. And why would you want to adapt to a status quo that has been perpetuated and that is old and that is unupdated? Like, create your own status quo in life. Like, create your own standards in life and adhere to those. You know what I mean? Stick to your value system. Stick to who you are and don't let anybody try to change who you are. They can't actually do it, but they can try. Through what? Through words of negativity, through gossip and slander, through backlash, through means of control, trying to control you and trying to control your energy because they feel threatened by you and your power. Not gonna happen, not gonna fly. You know what I mean? And so it's your job as a human being to understand what is going on and to just continue to stick to your morals and values, to continue to stick to who it is that you know that you are, and you have to be strong. Like, you have to be strong in life. You have to be really strong, because if you're not strong, you're going to do things like that where you try to control other people, because that's the only way that you know how to run a system. Like, if that's your way of running a system through means of control, you know, it's not going to be, first of all, a very effective system. Second of all, a very happy system. Third of all, a very productive system. Like, you have to learn how to lead with compassion and lead with love and understanding for people. And if you don't, then you shouldn't be in the position of leadership. Like, being a leader means updating you. It doesn't mean updating what you know or your knowledge base or whatever. Rather, it means updating information that you get through understanding yourself. So yeah, you need more information, but that information should not come from an outside source. It's not going to be applicable to your growth. You have to do the inner work as a leader, as a follower, as a freaking human being. You have to do the inner work to understand where you sit in terms of your healing and to calibrate accordingly. Calibrate the experiences and the way that you react to your experiences in life. Calibrate that reaction, those reactions accordingly, so that you can have smoother outcomes, different outcomes, more just and fair outcomes, and overall just, you know, it'll be better for you. So as a person, because why? Because equality is the truth of everything anyway. And so when we try to go against like natural law, we see situations fail, because this is actually how human psychology works. Like, human beings are threatened. They are predatory. They are protective. They are instinctual, and it's over themselves and their identity and the way people see us, because it's a survival instinct. And so grow out of that survival instinct. Why? Because it's a false dichotomy. It doesn't apply to you anymore. We live in the digital age. We live in an era where human beings should be constantly upgrading their knowledge about themselves, because there's so much knowledge readily available. Like, it's time to adapt. When we can adapt to the times around us, we are living our purpose, and it'll be easier to go through life, and you won't get so depressed. You won't get so upset by life. You won't get so set off by the things that happen in your life. Because why? Because you'll be steady. You'll be in control. Because you'll have that self-knowledge that, okay, I'm very fortunate to live in an age that is comfortable, where knowledge is readily available at my fingertips. Let me use it to actually heal and grow, something my ancestors couldn't do, right? Something the previous generations couldn't do. So this is very important, because it is no accident that you are born in this current time-space reality. People think that their life is an accident. It's not. Your life is not an accident, and you are not an accident. So stop walking around like an accident. Like, stop lying to yourself about who you are, and you'll be able to live the way you were meant to live, which is what? Healthy, wealthy, abundant, free, natural, and here. You can be natural mentally, and you can still have a lot of fun using the resources that have been given to you in life to do anything you want, to enjoy, to heal, to create beautiful things for yourself and others, right? if you study business, let me just tell you this, because business is amazing because it mirrors the way consciousness has evolved and changed over time. So when you study business over time, you can see how it has mirrored the condition of the human mind. I'll give you an example. When the iPhone came out, that was a revolutionary period for humanity, not just for technology, not just for business, because all of these things connect. They're all interconnected. So technology and business and this and that, it affects the human mind. The bottom line is that the human mind, the human consciousness, the human race, the human species is being affected by such inventions, etc. So the invention of the iPhone was revolutionary. It was huge. Nothing in recorded time or history has happened such as that. So a lot of us use this database of wealth and information, this tool, and we use it in the wrong way. We use it to spread misinformation. We use it to spread or listen to propaganda. We use it to get distracted from what? From what, Seema? What do we get distracted from? From the purpose of human life, which is to understand that which you are, to understand who you are, to understand who you really are. You are supposed to be self-understanding 24/7, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, because that is your job. And it feels real good to do it. It feels like flow. It feels like record albums sold out. It feels like books published. It feels like creativity and innovation and change, helping people. Like seeing your work help and impact people on a soul level and touch them on a soul level and speak to them in a way that the rest of the material world hasn't spoken to them yet. That is what art is about. That is what art is for. And people, first of all, don't take art seriously. They don't understand that an invention is art, and art is science, and everything else is everything else, because everything else is connected to everything else. Right? People don't know these things. And so they think that, oh yeah, like tech is evolving, like people don't know what that means. They don't know what it means monetarily. They don't know what it means for the condition of the human race, and also for what is coming for the human race, which it's another video, but people don't understand that everything connects and ties to everything else. So when you do this, when you block yourself off from different sources and of information, and when you block yourself off from the way information connects, you are doing yourself the greatest disservice that you could ever do yourself. You are playing into I want to say propaganda, but you are playing into the motive that has been set for the entire species of human beings. And this motive is, hey guys, let's keep them controlled under the dollar. Let's keep them controlled within spaces of fear by programming what they see on television and through their social media and through TV. Let's keep them dependent on their senses and living and thinking like just in animalistic ways. Did you guys know that Euphoria, like the TV show, came out like 2.5 years ago? And I'm not hating on Euphoria. I watched maybe like 4 episodes because that's all I could handle. I was like, wow, I hate this. I hated it. Why? Because I could feel it actually like having a negative impact on me and making me feel really depressed, first of all, and just low vibing. And then I was thinking, this show is being marketed to kids that are younger than me. Like, you know what I mean? Like, this show is being marketed to kids. Like, that's it. It's everywhere. The signs, the clues of how programming has been orchestrated is everywhere. And it's debilitating our generation and future generations that are younger than us. And this is important. This is important because no one is going to save you guys. No one is going to save you. No one is going to help you. Only you can help you, right? So like, for example, I can't change the world. You can't change the world, but I can help you see what needs to be changed within yourself. You can change yourself and you can help someone else see what needs to be changed within themselves. We can teach each other, right? We can help each other because it's not the pocket of the world that is suffering. It's the soul. It's the soul of people all around the world that is suffering. There's this quote that says, oh, don't sell your soul. You sell your soul every day over and over and over again because your soul is just that powerful that it can be, that can happen. that it can continue to be given away. It's the source. It's connected to source, to God. So you sell your soul every day when you pay attention to something that is splitting or negative or something that reaffirms your trauma instead of reminding you to pay attention to the lesson within that beautiful experience, right? Like, stop seeing trauma as trauma. We see trauma as trauma, and we don't let it be something else. We don't let it shift. We don't let trauma change until we get stuck within patterns of trauma. And like, then we label it as that, and we don't do anything about it. We just say, oh yeah, this thing happened to me, so that's why I'm like this. Well, maybe you can work on that, not for my sake, for yours, because you're the one that has to die eventually and leave this body, and you will have only your experiences to account for it. You will not have the body to account for it. You will not have the health to account for it, or the siblings, or the money, or the houses to account for your life. You will have your soul experience. That's it. We are here to collect experiences, like in little coins in a jar. Like, that's it. And that's both, people may think that that's scary or whatever. It's beautiful and it's freeing. It's beautiful and it's freeing. Why? Because the whole essence of life in and of itself is detachment. We just attach to things because we identify with things. My name, my body, my car, my ego, my personality, the way people see me, my friendships, my relationships, my bank account. We attach ourselves to all these things. We place our identity within all of these material things, including relationships, because relationships are, bound to this material experience in this lifetime. Relationships have a spiritual connotation to them. They're the most spiritual experience that you can have here, is to have relationships, loving relationships. But they don't even come close to the relationship that you have with your source, and how that is your main goal of human life. It's not important. I swear to God, it's not important to have many relationships with many people. It's not important. Actually, it's really unimportant, because when you have many relationships with many people, you're taken away from having that relationship with your creator, unless you are a yogi and you have made it your practice to see God within people. You see, that's how then relationships can be nurturing back to the soul. Otherwise, they are a distraction, they are a waste of time, they're based on competition, they're based on egoic gratification, they're based on how can you serve me and how can I serve you on a transactional level, and not on a basis of actually wanting to serve another person, and not on the basis of love. If it's not on the basis of unconditional love, it is material. It is a material relationship. And so what does any material transaction or interaction produce? It produces karma. Karma just simply means effect. E-F-F-E-C-T. Cause, effect, right? Action, reaction. That's what karma is. People hear the word karma and they think of all this, again, spiritual programming that has taken place around the world that has made Sanskrit terminology obsolete to the minds of human beings, to paint it in a negative light or in a way that is frou-frou and unimportant. And it's just not unimportant, because it's the truth. Karma is a universal law. Action and reaction is a universal law. This is Newton's law of motion, right? Every action has an equal and opposite reaction, equal, right? Like, it'll be done back to you. Whatever you give out, right, will come back to you in its equal propensity and equal strength. That's it, right? And so, for me, I'm going to speak personally for like 30 seconds. For me personally, I'll notice that if I ever have, because I've worked on this, guys. I've worked on this. I've worked to be really steady and really solemn in these rules, and to really play by these universal rules, so that I can actually be a literal good person, not just one that people look at you and they think, oh, no, but I've cleared my karma. That's what I mean when I say good person. There's no such thing as a good or a bad person. That's another lie that you've been taught, that dichotomy exists. There's no such thing as a good thing or a bad thing, or lightness or darkness. Like, these things do not exist in the way people think that they exist. Like, darkness is not bad and lightness is not good. Like, these are just like bullshit phenomena. Like, it's not real. It's just not real. Like, you need both in order to have the whole. Do you understand? There can be no creation without both sides of the spectrum. That's why. This is why. I'm not going to speak on any specific religion, but there are religions that claim that there are energies that are the antithesis of God. How can God be almighty if there are energies that are separate from him, that are equal in power to him, or maybe even a little bit lesser of equal power to God? If they're lesser than God, right, then that means they're insignificant. So why pay attention to these lower, energies? I'm not naming religions. I'm not in the business of doing that. But have belief in the right side. Have belief in the right thing. Pay attention to the right thing. Don't think that there is an enemy. There is no enemy but yourself. There's no enemy trying to get you to do certain things. My guy, understand that it's you. It's all you. You have the will. You have the will. Like, people get afraid when they hear these things that, oh, the enemy's trying to, I'm just going here for a second. The enemy's trying to get me to do X, Y, Z, or, don't pay attention to the enemy. Dude, pay attention to the enemy so you can fix it, because it's you. It's you. It's within you. This is accountability. When people can take accountability, they will, first of all, become free. Second of all, they will realize who they are, because we are free. That is our truth. Our essence is freedom. So when you can take accountability, you can realize that you are free, and then via that realization, you will come to know who you are. That's it. It's very easy. It's very simple. God is within you. And so anyway, back to the concept of karma. Any tongue that okay, how do I explain this? Any tongue that comes up against you, right? If you, how do I explain this in a way that people understand? You can change any situation in your life through here. Like, people think that they have enemies, or that they have haters. There's no such thing as a hater. There's no such thing as an enemy. There's no such thing as anything other than what you want it to be, you see. Like, it starts and ends in the mind. And if someone doesn't like you, do they really not like you? No, my guy, because they don't know you. That's why. They don't know you. So how can they not like you? They can't say that. They can't claim that. They cannot claim it. They cannot claim anything close to it. They cannot even claim to be annoyed by you. They're just annoyed by what you make them feel. Not you. You're not the problem, my guy. You're not the problem. People walk around thinking that they're the problem because of other people who have not done the inner work to heal, and this is a problem. This is why it's about self-accountability. Because guess what? If you go ahead and make someone feel lesser than, one day, it may not be today, it may not be tomorrow, but one day, if you are doing that on purpose, someone else will purposely do it to you. Even if you're not doing it on purpose, that's the thing. It'll still be done to you. Why? Because it's not about the intention, it's about the action. Karma doesn't care about your intentions. Maybe the effect will be less, jarring or negative, and it'll be like a little bit more easy on you, but karma knows, because karma is God. Action, reaction is God. All of these universal laws are God. There's not one universal law that is not directed, orchestrated, and carried out by the Creator himself. And so because it's directed, orchestrated, carried out by our Creator, it is our Creator, you see, because it is a part of our Creator. It is within the essence of our Creator, which is innumerous, infallible, perfect, and infinite. Like, that is what God is. To the limited mind, God is religion, which is just propaganda. Religion is just propaganda. It's just propaganda. And I don't want to live in a world that is botted. I don't want to live in a world that is botted, that doesn't understand, or that doesn't seek to make an effort to understand what really could be going on. And that doesn't seek to understand the true spiritual truth of things. of who we all are, etc. Because when you understand who you are, you will understand how the world works, how the universe works, what universal laws are present, who God is, and your direct and continuous relationship to him. Like, that is what you will understand when you begin to know who you are. I started asking these questions in 2017, summer of 2017, like August, because I was so depressed. And I'd be going out with my friends and just like partying all the time, and I loved it, still love it, like but essentially what I would do when I was out on these escapades is I would ask questions. Okay, do you exist? Who are you? What's your name? Do you exist? Who am I? Why am I on this planet if I am suffering? Like, why am I on this planet if I'm suffering? You know, there has to be a purpose higher or other than me going through pain. There has to be a purpose of why you put me here if you're real, you know? So I would ask these questions, and I was so adamant and hell-bent. When I asked, I didn't ask with uncertainty, or I just asked with desperation, a lot of desperation. And I think when you're desperate, you will be answered if you're asking the right quotient, the right receiver. So I asked all these questions, and I have notes full of answers. Like, every single answer that I got, I wrote it down. Let me see if I actually still have any. I would just write down every single answer that I got about why I am here, what the universe is. I have to scroll all the way down, etc., etc. Like, what is our purpose as human beings? You know what I mean? Like, I really needed to know. So a lot of these notes are my own personal downloads as to like what I need to do in my life, what can help me, who I am, you know. But let me see if I can find some universal laws. Oh, here we go. Here's one. May 1st, this was 2020, whatever. This was like way later. I had the realization about love being stronger than anything else. I'm reading off of it. That's why people get affected when you laugh, but you don't get affected by their sleeping or low vibrational energy. Oh, yeah. Okay, so my entire life, every time I laugh or something, it's so, like, unusual from the way the rest of the room is. Like, that's something I noticed early on, because, like, no one laughs like me, first of all. But what I noticed is that, like, people got offended. Like, people would get offended or off-put when I would laugh, because they'd be like, why is she so happy? Like, you know. But I did not get affected by their, like, low vibrational energy. So that was the note that I wrote. And then I said, it just proves that love will always win. Like, I'm automatically superior in my energy in that moment if I'm giving off higher vibrational energy, because, first of all, that's how you can protect your energy. Second of all, you're in tune and in touch with source, so anything you do will be automatically benefic and like fair, like, to the people around you, you know. So yeah, I wrote, I shouldn't get offended by other people's negative energy, and the way that I don't get offended is by following the rules of unconditional love, which states essentially that, you know, every single person is on their own path of healing, and we need to have compassion for self and for other people. And this is not a law, this is not a statement, this is not anything other than a practice. You have to practice it. You can talk about it, you can say it, but it doesn't mean anything if you say it. You have to practice it and become it, you know. So that's a note that I had. Oh, I also, on May 8th, 2020, realized the importance of global wealth allocation and the bubble of insensitivity that the world currently lives within. And I realized that it was an issue, and that's when I started making videos about it. Okay, so on May 26th, I'm just reading in my notes. On May 26th, 2020, I realized the importance of focused awareness and what we can do with it. And I realized how it's magic. Like we are alchemists, like we are magicians, mages, like witches, like all of us. Like I know people don't like that word, people don't like these words, but it just basically means like angels, I don't know, whatever you want to call it. We are interdimensional beings. This is the truth of who we are, and we have the ability to place our focus into one specific aspect, area, or avenue, and to either enlarge our wealth of knowledge, enlarge our wealth of talent, or enlarge our wealth of feel good positive energy through focus. And people think that through their mind and through willpower they can like make things happen, and there's so much bullshit on TikTok about attracting your ex back to you, like in the tarot community, which is like like I don't even want to go there you know. But but so there's a lot of that stuff going on. People think that they can like do spells. Like you don't know what you're doing. You don't know what you're doing, because first of all, you know, you would realize, if you knew what you were doing, you would realize that you don't need to do that. First of all, like if you want someone or something back, you need to either realize why they left and how it can serve you, or, you know, make peace with the fact that they left in any other way. Because like people try all these things because they're desperate to like get their exes back and stuff, but they don't realize that like half the time it's a blessing to like have someone leave. Like people don't know that because they don't understand that the universe is working for their highest good. So they think, oh yeah, like this person left, like I'm gonna die without them, like whatever. No, motherfucker, you're gonna self-explore without them. You're gonna self-understand without them. This is my channel, I'm allowed to swear. You're gonna find yourself when they leave. That's the point. That's the point. So all these people, man, like you don't understand the concept. You are not using the concept of manifestation or willpower, mental willpower properly if you try to like use it in a way that is limiting your growth and your consciousness and your expansion and your life. Like stop. You know, if you play silly games, you're gonna win silly prizes. Stop doing that. People do all sorts of weird shit. Like, that's a given. Obviously, I shouldn't, like, obviously that's neither here nor there. But at the same time, like, use the power of the mind to attract things that you need. Because there's so many things that you need. You don't need your ex. You need other things, and a lot of them, too. So, if I were you, I'd get to learning about what those things are. You know what I mean? But people don't want to change. They don't want to grow. I'm gonna talk about it, baby, because wait, like who else is talking about this? Nobody that I know, at least. That's why in my hometown, I'm a local celebrity. I'm just kidding. Well, not really. It's not only in my hometown. It's like across the map, bro. You think I'm joking? I'm not joking. And guess what? Even if that's not true even a little bit remotely, it's finna be in about 2 years. Give me 2 years. We finna do some shit. Watch. Anyway, moving on. So I just like have a lot of notes about what I have learned. Ooh, here's a good one. You want to know what it is? June 14th, 2020. Humility and self-appreciation are not on opposite ends of the spectrum. Rather, humility is in and of itself the act of self-appreciation, because the deep love that we feel in our state of humility breeds this appreciation for the self beyond understanding. That's what I wrote. Like, I could not be more concise or complete in the definition of humility. That's what humility is. Humility is true self-appreciation. You are automatically exalting yourself when you are humble and serving another person through love. Like, people don't know this. That's why they play ego games, because they think that it's going to help them, or that, well, actually, no. It's because the ego is used to this one way of being. The ego cannot stand to be, like, killed or won over. And the way to win over ego is through love. Like, I'm not talking about from another person. I'm talking about the way to win over your ego is through love, through humility, through understanding that you are a child of the divine. You are here to serve other children of the divine, your siblings, and that's it. That's it. And so, but no, we get so caught up in he said, she said, this, that, me, mine. I'm in a competition with you, baby. You're wasting your time. You're wasting your time. and time is the gift. It's the gift, capital G, just like me. It's the gift, because you have been given nothing else except time. Like, and the basic experiences. Actually, no, let me rephrase that. Time is the gift. Why? Because it is through time that you've been given everything. It is through time that you have been given your experiences. It is through time that you have been given your intelligence. It is through time that you have been given your the lessons that you learn. It is through time that you have been given knowledge of self and others, etc. And I'm not talking about material world knowledge. I'm talking about universal knowledge. And when you understand universal knowledge, you will understand everything material. You will understand economy. You will understand system flow. You will understand the basic fundamentals of human psychology. You will understand math. You will understand quantum design. You will understand physics. You will understand music. Like this, all of this happens when you understand universal law and God. Because God is all of those things and everything. So again, this is why I say all the time to people, because people ask me, Seema, how do you do that? How do you understand God? How do you connect with God? You have to meditate. You have to meditate. You have to meditate. There's no other way to do it. You cannot do anything else and then try to connect to your creator. It's just not gonna work. It's not gonna work. Like, even if you pray in religious settings like temples and what have you, the ambiance is amazing. It's important for your spirit. I think it's important to have a sense of community in that way. But understand that just like performing a surgery, you can only do it when you are alone, when you are focused, right? That is what it means to connect with your creator. You cannot do it surrounded by people. You can't. You can, I have. But I mean, I'm talking about in terms of receiving maybe some guidance or just adhering to the fact that that's your lifeline. Your temple is not your lifeline. Your church is not your lifeline, my guy. Like, you're not going to be there when you're passing away. You understand that? When it's just you and your creator, you're not going to have anything else to support that or to build that up. You have to build it up yourself now, in this moment. You have to build up your connection with your creator now, in this moment. This is very important. And the best way that I think society has been swindled has been in the arena of religion. People think religion is... Look at religion. Look at what religion has become. It's fairy tale and figment. There are a lot of stories. No one knows what to believe. People hear the word God, especially like younger generations now, like people younger than me personally. They hear the word God and they're like, haha, God is not real, because of course they think God is not real, because look around. There's been so much war over the word God. There has been so much deception. So it's safer to believe that God isn't real, because that actually makes the most logical sense. Like, because God is everything, and if you were smart, you would not limit yourself by means of one religion or dogma or philosophy or whatever, but you understand, because you've self-studied, that God is everything and you have made the connection over and over again, then yeah, that you understand. But for the younger generation, they have not understood. They've not understood who God is. So it's safer to say God doesn't exist, and I agree. Like, I agree with them. That, understand that everything is God, and that God is everything and nothing, and be there and use that and make that your spirituality, because it's safe. It's safer than picking one side. It's safer than picking one side and becoming traumatized by the rules and regulations of it. No, absolutely not. Absolutely not. Not under my watch. Or anywhere in my videos will I ever preach about, you need to follow rules and regulations of a certain group. Absolutely not. That's so damaging and debilitating to the soul. People have different purposes here on this planet. People have different karmas here on this planet. If you're part of one spiritual group or community and they're saying you can't do this, you can't do that, that's going to scar you. Like, what if you are really someone truly and you cannot be who you are? Do you know how splitting and confusing that is? And do you know how painful that is to the soul? Like, it makes you feel like you want to die. Like, it makes you feel like you are dying and you want to die. And I've been there more than just a few years, you know, more than just a decade even. It's been a long time that I've been through this in different ways. And so I know how it feels to have a finger wagged at you. You know what I mean? For who it is that you really are. Fuck that. What is that? That's ridiculous. We are free children of creation. So embrace that, and embrace the health that accompanies that, and embrace the wealth, the you know, the freedom of body, mind, and soul that accompanies that knowledge that yes, you can be anything you want to be, and shine that into the world, and make sure that that identity is yours and yours only, and that it's not been affected by anyone or anything else. If you don't know who you are, take some time away from people and ideologies and social media to figure out who you are, and revamp or recraft or recreate your own identity as being you and as being who you are. And that journey never ends. It's an ongoing journey. It'll take years, it'll last you your entire life. Ask me. I've been on this journey since it started, and it never stopped. And I would find myself thinking, you know, I'm in a challenging position right now, because this is a challenging and daunting journey to be who you really are, to go on the quest of self-understanding, which includes God understanding. Like, it's a very isolating journey. No one does this, right? So, but you learn and discover everything about everything. But so, you know, it's a very daunting journey. So you'll have low moments of, why don't they understand me? Am I doing the right thing? Am I really who I say I am? Why? What supports that? Oh, I need to up-level my life in this way, and I need to heal this trauma within me. This is really freaking difficult. Ouch. I'm in pain. This sucks. When will this end? When will my life get better? Like, all of these things you will go through, and you will realize that, baby, your life is getting better over and over again as you traverse and continue going through this path. Things will get easier and easier, because this is the path of self-understanding. It is rare that anybody goes on this journey. Most people are too attached to everything and anything. Their family, what their family thinks about them, what society thinks about them, what their friends think about them. What more can I say? You understand that that's what death is. It's more free to physically die and to shed the body than to stay in those ideologies and ways of thinking that, oh, what did they think about me? What the fuck? Like, what? You know what I mean? Like, what is that? That's ridiculous. You did not come into this baby body thinking, what is my mom gonna think? The fact that I have to, you know, that I pooped my diaper, like, is like, it just, you know what I mean? So it's just not, it's not innate. These are learned behaviors and learned responses, and they are learned by everybody in society. Why? Because, you guys, there have been methods of programming that have been going on for not just centuries, but centuries within centuries, to keep human beings wagging their fingers at one another, you know? And going, you can't do this, you can't do that, you can't be this, you can't be that, you can't, I can't. Like, literally be anybody I want to be, or do anything I want to do. There's a quote that one of my favorite mentors says. Her name is Abraham Hicks. Well, her name is Esther Hicks, but she channels Abraham, and she says, you can be or do or have anything you want. That nothing is off limits for you. Nothing is off limits for you. If you think something is off limits for you, it's because you are choosing to stay within paradigms of thought that have been comfortable for you. You are not willing to challenge your ways of thinking, to explore new or different avenues of thought that could nurture the ways you have been living, that can be additive factors into maybe achieving some of your personal goals, or just being a little bit more happy or free within your mind. Like, you gotta explore new realms of thought, my guy. You gotta explore new waves of thinking. This is what it means to be wavy. You know, in my book, Like, in my definition of the word wavy, waviness is a condition of the spirit. It is being free in your mind and being a free thinker. It's not listening to anyone else. It's being chill as fuck and being just really loving and helpful and honest, you know, and doing things because you believe in them and you believe in your mission, you believe in your cause. You don't care what people think. What people think is something you cannot control. It changes anyway. People don't even know themselves anyway. People walk around like accidents, not knowing who they are. And you know what I mean? And if you have done the work to know who you are not an accident. Like, you are not an accident. So therefore, what you have, what authority, and with what authority comes what responsibility. You must take responsibility for the fact that you have to be different. You have to be authentic, and you have to spread your messages, you know? And this is something that I didn't know for a long time. I thought for a long time, I was under the impression that having a YouTube channel or posting a bunch on TikTok or Instagram, spreading my messages, was selfish and self-centered, and that I am like trying to be some like modern day guru or whatever, which like like I'm not, like, you know what I mean? Fight me, like, come on, it's me. Or like, not guru, but just someone prominent that, you know, whatever. But I am someone I am someone prominent anyway, but just because it comes with my energy, whatever. We're not gonna go there. We're not gonna go there. It's true. See, I only speak the truth. I also know that that what I'm saying, my words may be misconstrued as being, ignore my knee, as being like self-centered or whatever the fuck people think this shit is. Like, people don't know what this shit is. This is true authenticity, my guy. This is many years of thinking that doing social media was wrong, when in reality, I came to this planet to spread my messages in different ways, to spread my energy through the power of the internet, my guy. Like, there's no way that I can deny it anymore, and there's no other way around it. And people have to accept me for who I am, and if they don't, they can boot the boot, they can get out, you know? Because, like, I'm a very multifaceted person. I'm a child. I'm also a huge, like, old person in a young person's body. Like, I'm an adult, and I believe in what I believe, and I believe in fairness, and I will be the best president you have ever had. Vote Seema for office. Thank you so much. No, but really though, like, you know, I'm here to spread my messages. Look at my tan. I'm getting a tan, and I love burning in the sun. I love being in the sun because the sun and I are one, and it's very fun. Thank you so much for watching. I love you to the moon and back, and I hope this video was interesting, enlightening, enthralling, helpful, and that you left better than you came. I will be going now and rehydrating. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this sermon and lecture, I like his vibe. It was an old car. He had a cigarette in his mouth. That's it. What life is about, my guy. Like, I'm just kidding. No, I liked his vibe. It was like straight out of a movie, the way he was like coming at me. He was like, when he had like a cig in his mouth. I was like, bro, I'm in a movie. Anyway, I have to go. I love you so much. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll talk to you in the next video. Peace.